Hi Flosstube, it's Megan. I'm back for Flosstube number 6. I'm stitching Moon here on YouTube and on Instagram. And yeah, this is my channel about cross stitch. And today I've got a lot to talk about and update you on. So I noticed I've been trying to catch up on Flosstube the last week, and it seems like a lot of people have had really long videos this week, and this is probably not going to be an exception. It's going to follow in their footsteps. So yeah, it's been, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks since my last video, and I wanted to film last week after my family had been visiting, but my daughter Tiana, who's a little over 1.5 years now, was sick again. She's in daycare here in Norway, so it seems like now all the time, every other week, she gets a new sickness. So she was home, so I couldn't film or stitch as much as I wanted to, but still, we got lots to talk about. So if you've been following my videos, you know I'm living in Norway, and I'm originally from the US, and my family has, had only limited opportunity to visit because of COVID. So my mom and her husband came to visit in end of September, and they did have to quarantine for 4 days in a hotel, which sucked. But they came, and if you saw my last video, you saw the camera gift that I stitched for my mom. So she finally has that, and she loved it. So that was fun, and that's off back in the US now. I think she said that she can get a pretty regular size frame for it. And I did have a question about that in the comments about how big it actually turned out to be, and so I looked that up. It was 17.71 inches, very specific, by 14.29 inches, so more than a foot, and that was just the design itself, so over a foot in each direction. And if for centimeters, that was 45 by 36 centimeters. I rounded that one. So yeah, that was a big one, but that one's done. So yeah, anyway, they were here for about a little over a week, and finally got to visit with Sienna, her granddaughter, my mom's granddaughter. It was only the second time she's actually met her in person, so it was almost a year since the last time, so that was really fun. She's talking, interacting more. But it's so funny because Sienna will say everybody's name, even her husband, whose name is Mike, she called him Bike, but she won't say my mom, she won't call her Grammy, she won't call her anything. She'll call everybody by a name. And my dad, she tried to say Grampy, she would say Empy, and his wife, she would say Nana, because that's what she was called, but she just won't call my mom anything. She loves her, and she was hugging and interacting, but it's so funny, she'll go around and say everybody's name, and she'll get to her and be like, so yeah, that was just funny. But yeah, and then my mom and I went to Bergen for a weekend before she went home, just us two, to have some good mother-daughter time and just relax and stuff, so that was nice. And I did get some stitching at the hotel and then. And now my mom knows about my Flosstube since I finished her gift. So I don't know if you're watching, Mom, but hi if you are. She's actually the only person who knows, besides my husband, who knows about my Flosstube channel in my family. I haven't told my friends or family yet. I might have mentioned it in passing to my dad and his wife, who I already gave their gifts to, but I don't think they really knew what I was talking about. So yep, she's the only one. My husband knows, but he doesn't watch it, so yeah, maybe I'll make it where as soon as I give someone a gift, I can also tell them about my channel. I don't know. But anyway, what else for life updates? I think for now that's about it. Like I said, Sienna has been sick a lot, so that's been rough. She's back in daycare this week, so hopefully she doesn't get sick again for a while. It's just, the normal, childhood illnesses and stuff. But hopefully she's building up her immune system. So, I think we can get into my first stitching stuff, which is, oh, and also just as an overview of this video, I have my whips, my works in progress, I have some finish, I have a lot of haul that was brought from the US, And yeah, that's exciting. I even have like, I got the first HAED material pack and I'm gonna insert like an unboxing into this video. So yeah, that'll be exciting. So let's start with my another finish, which was also a gift, is also a gift. And this one, you probably predicted I'd finish it if you saw my other videos, but it is a gift for my husband's grandmother. And it is the Jul Heart. And Jul is Merry Christmas in Norwegian. So another finish. It's nice to get these finishes, and I have it in time for Christmas. They're actually going to be visiting us in November, so we're not actually going to see them for Christmas this year, so I'm going to hope to have it fully finished by November. And I know I've talked about this before, that I don't quite know what I'm going to do to finish it fully. My original thing was just, oh, I can, you know, frame it, but my husband made a good point. They have like a ton of things on their wall and framed, and this could be, you know, she likes to decorate and like put things out for Christmas and like little table runners and stuff. So we have a local like framing shop that I might be able to take this to and ask like, okay, what can you guys like make with this that isn't crazy expensive? Because, well, it's Norway, it's going to be pretty expensive, but we'll see and see what they recommend. Maybe I can do some things on my own, but I don't own a sewing machine or anything, and yeah, I'm not great with that type of stuff, so I'm hoping they can help me out a little bit. Oh, I guess like the Google is gonna look mirrored, I guess, in this. As I've heard some other people talk about, like when they have letters, I think the camera like makes it backwards, but I'll see if I can do anything about that. So yes, that is my finish. Finished another gift. So I ironed it, and I gotta be, yeah, linen's tough to get wrinkles out of, as I'm sure you guys know. So I have it folded in this towel. So I'm gonna try and carefully fold it back up. Okay, now I gotta put it somewhere, and I'm sure my cat is going to sit on it. But let me just, okay, it's covered in a towel, so I'm actually gonna put it down on the floor. Okay, that's okay. Okay, get situated for now. And the lighting might be strange in here. Now, like in Norway, you know, the sun changes quite a lot throughout the year, where in the summer we had like the midnight sun. And we're not so far north that it's totally light all the time. It does set a little bit, but it's always like somewhat light in the middle of the summer. And now that winter is coming, it's getting late, days are getting shorter, and sunrise like is coming up later. So it just kind of came up recently, and it's like, what time is it? 10:30 in the morning now. But in the middle of winter, it's gonna start to like, the sun won't even come up until like 10. So it's very strange. You can sleep in long hours during that time. But anyway, next we'll show you some, oh no, I have a new start too. Yeah, I do. I have a new start that you might have seen coming if you saw my last video. But it's October and it's Halloween stitching, so it is my Halloween Quaker. Oh man, I was really gonna take everything out of hoops and snaps and stuff for this. I meant to do that. I didn't. I might have to, I don't know, pause the video to do that for some of them. But this is Halloween Quaker, where I'm up to. Oh, and I also did want to show you what it will actually look like when it's done. Okay, I'm doing things backwards. I have all these great plans of how exactly I'm going to do it all, and then I get on camera and whatever. But this is what it will look like fully when it's finished. And it's Halloween Quaker from Lila Studio on, well, she has Etsy and a regular website, I think. And I'm doing this on 32 count. And it didn't actually have a color name. I got it from Cross Stitch Corner in Germany. And it just had like a number, but it's the Zweigart Belfast linen, 32 count. And I know it just looks plain gray, and it pretty much is, except there is a little tiny bit of modeling in it. but it's very hard to see. As I was stitching this, like I was like kind of like, ooh, I wish I kind of chose maybe a more exciting fabric. Like I've seen this stitched by a lot of other people and like super cool, like colorful, different colored fabrics that look awesome. And now since there is a lot of dark colors in this, I'm kind of wishing I did that. But at the same time, I know I can just like get a more colorful frame when I'm done, because I think I'm gonna frame it. But also this is like my first time using 32 count, and it's over so using 2 strands over 2. And at first I was like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? Because it was really hard. It was really hard for me to see, and it might have been because I started when it was kind of dark and not the best lighting. And it was just like tough to get going on it. Like I kept having to restart, like my moon. I started out on the moon, and I did start like I think in the hotel, and I don't know, it's just not the best looking stitches. It's not too bad on camera, but I had to take out a couple things. I was just like, it was so slow at first. I was like, I don't know if I even like this. But as I got going, it did get easier. I don't know if my eyes just got used to it or what, but it is getting better now. Now I am enjoying it. But at first I was like, I don't know about this. And I was questioning getting other patterns like this. Like I really like the full coverage, and I've been using HAED quite a bit, and I liked that, but I was like questioning if I should get other things in this, because I really like a lot of other patterns that I have like on my wish list. But when I started stitching this, I'm like, should I do that? I don't know if I actually like it, but it is growing on me. So now I do like it, and I like how it's coming out. And I've heard a lot of people say the DMC like 310 doesn't get great coverage, but on the witch, like it's not bad. Like I think it's good. I would keep it. Like I did take a picture to put on Instagram, and I noticed in that picture it looked a little spotty, but in person I think it looks really good. Yeah, so I think it's fine. Maybe I'm just not as picky. But so that is Halloween Quaker. Another thing I can tell you actually now about this, it kind of goes into like a haul thing, but I'll bring it up now. Is actually I now have Pattern Keeper. So excited. So yeah, I wasn't using Pattern Keeper because I have an iPad and not like any Android tablets or anything. And so before my family came to visit, my mom and her husband, I was like, do you guys happen to have like an extra Android tablet you're not using? Because I don't know, why not? Why wouldn't someone just have one lying around? They didn't, but her husband actually was like looking into, he's like, oh, I'll see if I can find one cheap. I'm like, oh, okay, it can be used, like whatever, I just need it for like one app. And he actually got a Kindle Fire right here and brought this over. So now I have Pattern Keeper, and it was super generous of him. I'm like, oh, how much is it? How much do I owe you? And he's like, oh, no, nothing, got it for free, which he didn't, but I wanted to pay him for it, and he's like, no, it's a gift. So that was so nice, so generous, and I'm loving it. It is definitely a game changer, which everybody says, and I know I was doing kind of good with the Apple iBooks. It's just what I was using, totally free, and it was working great until it just started to like close on me for no reason. So, and then it wouldn't save some of the things that I was doing, which was super annoying, which could have been maybe I started to have too many things on there. I don't know, but I'm going to keep having patterns on there, so that wasn't going to be a long-term solution. So I'm really glad I have it now. Now I can like, it's really actually easy to mark off, because you can just mark off, like if you're doing a pattern like this, the Halloween Quaker, where it's like a lot of blank spaces, you can just mark off like a row and it won't highlight the things that aren't stitches, which is super nice. So it's easy, it's fast, it keeps track of your progress, which I'm actually really liking and enjoying. Both like how many stitches you stitched in a day, how many stitches you've stitched total, what percentage you're at, which I'm sure you guys already know, but it was just fun to see. One thing though, that like one issue I guess I've had with it is on this pattern, the Halloween Quaker, like you'll see the white, the moon is like pretty white, not completely totally white, but it's like a very light color. And so when I highlight and check off that I've stitched that, it just like disappears in the app. It doesn't like have a box around it, which I think would be nice, like for any of the white colors. because the background is white in the app, in the Pattern Keeper app. So once I mark these off, they just disappear, and then that made it like really confusing to like do some of the other areas. So that's kind of a pain. So if you're stitching a pattern where it's not like full coverage using Pattern Keeper and it's a very light white color, I would definitely suggest like waiting to check them off until you've stitched all the other areas around it for reference, because otherwise it got pretty confusing. I missed, like, I was doing the broom and like just the way, I don't know, it wasn't marked off. I like missed some stitches and had to go back, which wasn't a big deal, but I could see it like messing you up in some other ways. So just FYI. So, oh yeah, I was going to tell you after all that where my progress is. Okay, I have it written here. Where is it? Okay, so I have 1,860 stitches and it's 10.34%. So not bad after just like, how many days have I stitched on this? I started it like September 30th. Then I stitched it like, well, most of that weekend, but I didn't get a ton in. And then I've been stitching since like the 5th, every other day on it. So like maybe say a week total for 10%. And that's what I'm doing now. I'll be doing this every other day in October on the odd days. So I'll be doing it on like the 13th and the 31st. And that's my plan for this one. And I don't know yet if I'm going to stitch it like after Halloween's over. Probably I'll stitch it in November too, like through fall. And then I haven't decided yet like if I'll keep it going all year to finish it for next year or if I'll just put it away and only keep it for Halloween. That is to be determined. So, new start. Okay. All right, yeah, I have to actually like put things away. I know it's gonna take a little more time. Oh, I'll show you actually this. I'm keeping this one in. It's a little tight with this organizer, but it actually works well. Like this is just a laptop carrier that I got in a bookstore. And it works super nice for this size project. Like I would definitely get more of these. It doesn't have any little pockets inside, but that's fine. I just keep like the fabric and the thread in there, and it even fits when it's on a hoop, not a Q-snap, but like just a regular hoop. It fits, and you can zip it up, and it stores like super nice. So I would recommend these for sure. Okay. Next, my other whips. So since I last talked to you, I haven't stitched a ton on my other, well, on some other projects just because, well, I had the finish. And then, actually, maybe first I'm going to show you what I stitched on most, I think, since I last talked to you, which of course is on the bottom. But this is another gift for my sister. And it's the blue watercolor Poppies. Let me show you what it'll look like. That's what it'll look like when it's done. Although a little bit different, I'll show you why. And oh man, okay, this is the one I did want to take out of the Q-snap to show you. So I have to do that. Maybe I'll cut this part out. If I don't, like, and you're just watching me take off the Q-snap, like, does anyone else, when they're taking it off, like, break their nails all the time? Because I do. I ruin my nails with Q-snaps. Maybe I just have really brittle nails, I don't know. Okay, all that stuff. Okay, so if you've seen my last videos, you know my dilemma with this, my drama with this project, because I didn't know if the fabric was big enough, and it was like a scrap fabric that I had from something else, and I calculated it, and I knew it was going to be tight, but I thought I would have enough room. However, it turns out not the full thing actually fits. So this is where I'm at, but you can see on this corner over here, this edge, if I bring it up close, you can see it's actually not like a stitchable edge. It's like the end of the fabric. And I think in my calculations I calculated that as like stitching fabric. Even still, it's super tight. But anyway, at the end here, I had to cut off like just a couple stitches, like just maybe 2 or 3 on this part right here. So it's not horrible, but it is very tight. And then I noticed also at the bottom, somehow there's not enough room to go all the way down to the bottom over here. So I think, again, there was 4 stitches that are totally cut off, and I go all the way to the end. Okay, note to self, leave plenty of room on your fabric. So, yeah. But again, it's not the end of the world. Like, I don't know what, I think I'm gonna still try and like lace it around something and frame it. Like, I know it's gonna be tight, and that's okay, because like this is cut off on purpose. That's just part of the design. So, you know, we can make it work. But this is way, way bigger than I expected it to be. And I keep thinking I'm almost done, and then I realize, like, no, I have a lot of stitching left. Like, this is a big flower. I still have all of this, and then I have the top of this one up here. But I'm like on a finish my gifts kick. So my plan is to finish it in October. And I might just have to work on this, only this and the Halloween one for all of October to do that. Well, maybe not. Maybe, we'll see. But that's my goal. I want to stitch on this every other day in October, and then the Halloween one every other day till I finish this. Even though I really want to work on like my other ones, especially my full coverage one that I'll be showing you. But I also really just want to get this one done and over with, especially because it's annoying me because it doesn't fit. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know, maybe next time you see me, I'll have it done. And you know, this year it's about like learning new things, right? So I learned my lesson about fabric. Oh, and this, if you see this over here, this was because I started it the wrong, like going the wrong direction when I very first started. And I'll rip it out later. I just didn't want to deal with it. So that's my poppies. All right. I'll put this one down here too. I'm not gonna be able to like walk out of here at the end. I'm gonna have everything all over the floor. Okay, another one that I worked on, not very much, maybe one day, I think, was the Galliana sampler. I'll show you first what it's gonna look like. Okay. Is that it? Yes. Well, this is at least what the design will look like. It's a big one, and it's my first kind of like design like this. And it has things to do with 2020 hidden throughout the pattern, which is what drew me to it. I like that. And I am doing it where with 2 different colors, where one color, the purple, is kind of like the background, not necessarily the background, but like all the regular things, and then the red is like all the hidden things. A lot of them have to do with COVID. But you can start to see some of the hidden things coming. This is on a 14 count cream Ada or ivory. I don't know, cream or ivory. It didn't have a name. I just got it in our local store here in Norway. But this is where I'm up to. So I'm doing the purpley background, and then the red or maroonish is, oh wait, sorry. I'm holding it upside down. Right. Yeah, okay, sorry. This is the right way. The red on top is represents a film strip, because everyone's been watching a lot more TV and stuff and movies during COVID or during lockdown. These are 2s that represent 2 meters apart, which is what was kind of like the rules in some European countries, 2 meters apart. And then this is the COVID molecule. I stitched the COVID molecule. Is that weird? But no, I think it's cool, like, and it looks actually like pretty as a design. But yeah, that is where I'm up to, and this is fun to see progress on. I just haven't got to it as much as I wanted because of all the other things going on. But yeah, I'm excited for how this is gonna look and turn out. It's a big piece, like, oh, yeah, I hear this. So I'm just in a little corner, but I think it'll look really cool. And this now is in Pattern Keeper. My Poppies was not in Pattern Keeper because I've done so much of it already on just my iBooks. I'm just staying with that until it's done. That's another reason I just want to get it out of the way, because I want to switch everything over to Pattern Keeper. And I have that and one other still on the iBooks. But this one, on Pattern Keeper, I did 1,737 stitches total, a 5.36%. So just 5.36. Now hopefully, if I remember, I can keep track of like how many I've done since the last time. Or if I can just do math, since I already have it written down. Okay. That one lives in my little Norway tote bag. Norwegian design. It looks like a cross stitch. Okay. What is next? Alright. I realized I forgot to get one of my whips. So I'm gonna go do that right now and probably cut this part out. Alright, so I am back. I had to get my Queen of Silk, and I forget it all the time because it's actually like in a bag, like a big bag, like a Coach bag. So I need to change that. I'll probably put it, now I have some like smaller, like just Ziploc plastic bags that other projects have come in. So I think I gotta move it into that. Alright, so this is Queen of Silk, and this one is a kit from Design Works. And that is what she's going to look like. Yes, I love her kimono. I think I've called it a dress a bunch of times, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a kimono. And she has beads and stuff, which I've never done. Not that it's going to be anytime soon that I get to them. And she's on 14 count Aida, and it's a flax like type Aida, not white. And I've just done more of the lovely tree, and again, I only maybe did this 1 or 2 days. So I actually got down to the bottom of the page that it's not in a page, it's all, you know, a paper pattern, and then I took a picture of it to put on my iBooks. And I think that's the only one that has to stay in iBooks, because I tried it on Pattern Keeper and it just, I couldn't figure it out. I think they're doing like a trial of like getting pictures on Pattern Keeper, but I don't know, I couldn't really do it. So that one is probably going to be the only one I don't have on Pattern Keeper for now, which is kind of annoying, but I'm down to the first picture page that I took, the only picture so far, and then I started like to go up here a little bit, so I'm going to work like, I guess, my way down again that side. And that's going to be a very big one as well. As you can see also, I'm actually showing more haul in this little hoop that I got. This is one of the, I got a bunch of hoops from the States that I think I just got on Amazon. Because they're not round, which is nice. They're like a nice little ovally square. And I needed some other things to hold my projects that weren't just Q-snaps, because Q-snaps are pretty bulky to store. So I like those. Now I have another gift I'm working on. Again, I didn't take it out, I'm sorry, but this one I'm not going to take out because I've shown you, I don't really have too much more on it, and you can see most of what I've worked on, or all of what I've worked on. And this one is New York City, New York. I can show you a picture first of what that will look like. Yep. Scroll. It's an Etsy shop by Kristy Patterns. The New York City skyline that I started on September 11th in honor of the attacks, and there was a stitch along, two of them. The one I did, or I created, was hashtag NYC Sal, no, sorry, hashtag NYC Stitch Along, all spelled out, and then the other one is hashtag Remember 9/11 Sal. I haven't updated that yet because because I haven't done much on it, but I did do some of it since I last saw you guys. I think it might have been 2 days again, 2 or 3. Starting to get some buildings done. And this is also, I converted onto Pattern Keeper. Down here it just says New York. And on Pattern Keeper, let's see, I can hold it up still. It has been, so I'm actually the least amount of stitches, but the furthest progress on this one. So 991 stitches and 12.42%. So this one is my smallest project, I guess you could say. And it'll be a long one, it won't really be much taller than this, but it'll be like long. Yeah, that's that one. I'm hoping, this is gonna be for my my mother-in-law, my husband's mother, because she likes to visit New York. Very different from where we live in Norway. And my final whip that I worked on this time was my first full coverage, like big full coverage, Children on the Beach artwork by Mary Cassatt and charted by Cross Stitch Collectibles. And yeah, this one is like a sentimental one because we had this picture hanging up in our living room or dining room all growing up, and like I've said before, that baby in the front looked like me as a baby and now reminds me of my daughter. And this one's a very like wistful one as I stitch. I just like it. It's very, yeah, it just gives me that like nice feeling, calm, relaxing, but also like kind of wistful feeling. And I'm only up, well, I'll show you where I am. I'm up in this corner up here is where I'm working. And I also converted this onto Pattern Keeper, which has been amazing because now I can move to like diagonal stitching, like real diagonal stitching. And I think that's great because I was starting to see lines just going up and down squares. So I'm in the process of like converting it over. But I only worked on this, I think, 1 day since I last saw you. So it's not very far, and I really do want to get back to working on this more, but I do want to finish the gift first. So here's where I'm at. So I'm starting up here to like work it into a diagonal, because after I noticed it's all over the place, because after I noticed like I was doing up and down and I started to like notice a line, so then I started to do more like cross country within the page because I didn't have Pattern Keeper. I was just limited to like that page. So that's what I was starting, and now I can do like the actual full diagonal, which is fun and I'm excited about. And I think it's gonna just be nice, like as I go along. I want to stick to like the one page and I can like see more things like coming along like as you go down. So I think that'll be interesting and just look cool. So I'm excited about that. So where am I at with this one? Children on the Beach. So yeah, my biggest obviously so far, I've got 2383 stitches in it and it's 2.15%. So yeah, I'm loving it. Oh, you can tell actually more in the camera than in person, like a lot more. You can tell that this is the sky and this is the water and like this is the rocks in the water, but like in person, maybe if you hold it back, but it's like easier to tell in camera that that's what it is. Like I was like, is this all sky or what? It was harder to tell. So it's interesting what the camera can pick up on, but once I get more going, hopefully I'll be able to tell that one's the sky and one's the water. So, is that all my whips? Yes, for now. Okay. And this again, don't want to spend a lot of money on project bags, so it's in the bag it came in. In the mail. All right, now what? Are we going into haul? So exciting. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna pull up. The first one I'm gonna show you is actually the HAED, my first Heaven and Earth design. I got the material pack and I filmed a little mini, I don't know if it was mini, but an unboxing. So my family brought it over from the US and I'm just gonna insert that here. Okay, here is my first unboxing attempt ever, and we're gonna do a HAED, Heaven and Earth Designs material pack. And yeah, let's try and do this. Forgive me for if the camera or the angle is a little strange because it's my first time ever setting this up and doing it this way. So I'm going to be showing you the material pack for this Heaven and Earth design pattern. It's called Together, and the artwork is by Jim Warren. And I got the regular size design. So they also have a mini and I think maybe a max color in this. But I just got the regular size, so here it is. Okay, now, warning, I did open this before because I had to look and see. And this was not sent or shipped directly to me. It was sent to my family who lives in the US. I'm in Norway, so when they came to visit recently, they brought over this stuff, the material pack, what came to them. So I tried to wrap it back together as best as I could, but just know that I did look at it first, and it came from the US to me. So my family, got it out of the package and everything first, but they didn't open it, and then they brought it in their suitcase to me here in Norway. So I didn't get the pattern because I got the digital pattern. So it just came with fabric and the threads, and I also got some needles to go with it. Alright, so I don't know, I think it might have come all in this big bag together, but again, I'm not positive, so I will first do this pack. We got the fabric and some goodies, other goodies. Let's do the fabric first. So it says on here, easy count, oh, there we go, easy count, 25 count, easy grid. And I guess the size of it is 26 by 31, that'll be in inches. And it says on here, which is nice, how to remove the grid lines from the fabric. And it kind of is nerve-wracking because I'm gonna have to soak the whole thing when it's all done for like an hour or more, which scares me. And it says, use some Orvis and a bit of OxyClean, so I hope I can find that here in Norway, but I don't know, if you guys are in Europe somewhere, let me know if you got out the lines before on easy grid fabric. Definitely let me know how you did that, what you used, because I know it's going to be a long time, like years from now, that I have to worry about that, but eventually I will, and I'd love to do it in like the most efficient way possible. Okay, so we take it out, and it's wrapped in this nice tissue paper packet. Again, I ripped it a little as I was trying to put it back together, but this is super nice and cute. And then, again, I don't want to well, okay, I already broke it. I'm terrible at wrapping and gifts. But, alright. Comes in this nice, doesn't look very intimidating, right? It's all small and compact. And here we have the fabric. Yeah, so I've never used 25 count before, so I'm just kind of looking at the holes. Hopefully this picks it up in the light. I know there's some shadow here just from the angle of my camera and the lighting, sorry. But the grids are pretty small. So I'm going to try and show how big this is. It might take up my entire table, actually. Now I notice I'm saying oi a lot. That's a very Norwegian thing, and my daughter, who's like a year and a half, is like, oi, oi, all the time for everything, so now I'm like, oi. Okay, yeah, so it's not quite the size of my table. I'll try and lift up the camera a little, oh, bring it back, so you can see the size. So, it's gonna be a big one. But it's not as big as some of them I've seen out there. It's not a super size, so, you know. Okay, fabric. now I'll just put it back in here. I want to try and keep it organized a little bit. Okay. Then it came with these needles. I got, sorry, yeah, can you see that okay? I hope. 28 count needles, which are the teeny ones, that I'm going to use with this project. And I wanted to get some just because I want to use them for other projects as well. And I'm actually not going to open them because they're needles and I don't want to lose them. Okay. Then it also came with this cute little pouch. It's nice and velvety. And this is actually like a little, I don't know, gift or surprise with it because I didn't order it, but let's see. I think it's a needle threader. And in here, this one. So it's very pretty. Oh, okay, I'm terrible at this camera, guys. Sorry. Yeah, so it's really pretty, and I believe it's a needle threader, yeah. I just don't know how to use it. I've never used a needle threader before, so I'm gonna have to research that. And I don't know if you guys will have to tell me what this is. Does it go with the needle threader, or is it something totally different? I really don't know. So, yeah, you can let me know in the comments. But that was nice to come with that, and this cute little pouch. Okay, and then the thread. All right, guys, so this one actually is not as big as some of them. Like as far as colors, this one had, I believe, 89 colors. So it's on the low side actually for HAED, but still a lot. Okay, so it came on these cards, all sorted with all the amounts that you already need, which is, you know, one of the benefits to getting a material pack. And all of the cards, let me see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and they're all tied together with this little pretty ribbon. And it looks like they're in order of the DMC number. So it has the symbol, the DMC number right there. So you can, you know, use it by either. And it comes on these little rings. And I've actually never used a project this way before, so this will be like interesting to see how it goes. Look how much 310 black. It's actually not terrible, but I'm sure, I mean, these are, I haven't actually looked at how long these are, but I'm sure they're really long. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to cut them before I start using them instead of just pulling out a thread, but I don't know, I haven't really looked into that yet. But we'll just go through a little bit so you can see the colors. So let's see, hopefully this camera is picking it up okay. So there's some with not too much, you know, just a little bit, like this pink, not much of that. A lot of the blues and greens. Let's see. More blues and dark colors, dark greens, blues. And then we're getting to like some fewer colors, I guess, that there aren't that many stitches. More blues. Good thing I like blue, guys. It's got some pretty like reddish and pinkish maroon colors in here too. And then again, lots of blues and some reddish orangey tones. On the last page, only 3. Some browns. So, got a lot of, like, not a lot of colors, but like a lot of different shades, I guess. You know, it doesn't seem like all one tone, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of blues, a lot of darks, a lot of greens, blacks, browns, and reddishy, purpley colors. So a little bit, yeah, red in there. Not too much. I was expecting more like white or light colors because of the moon, but I guess they're in the grays. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So yeah, that was the material pack. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to organize it all, and if I can figure out how to do that, I'll also add that to the video. All right, see you later. So, hope you liked that unboxing. I want to talk a little more about this design before we go on to all the other haul and awesome stuff that I got. So again, here is the pattern. And I chose this for as like my husband and I's thing, and I'm gonna start it on our anniversary, which is coming up November 1st. Well, it's one of our anniversaries. We actually have 2 anniversaries. The other one is May 9th, because since he's Norwegian and I was, we were in the States when we met, and his visa was about to expire, and no, I'm not a 90-day fiance, or he's not a 90-day fiance, but we had to like kind of rush things because otherwise, you know, he could be kicked out technically. So we actually got married, like went to the city hall, and well, we didn't get married in the city hall. We went to, there was a Norwegian church kind of like near where we lived in Florida, or a Scandinavian church. So there was like a pastor there who did like a little ceremony, just us. And that was nice and like intimate and cozy. And there was just this one random guy there like taking pictures and being a witness. It was super nice. But yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't like, you know, a typical wedding or anything. Like I wore black, a black dress, just because like, I'm not like a clothes person. I didn't have anything really. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get like a whole dress for this, which sounds bad. But we had another celebration May 9th. But after, it was funny, like our reception for our wedding was, so it was on a Saturday, I believe, and they're open on Saturdays to the public in the morning for like people with Scandinavian heritage to come there, and they have a traditional like porridge and waffle gathering. So in Norway, it's very traditional on Saturdays to have this rice porridge. It's like a special way you make it, and waffles. They really like waffles and jam, so they make that on Saturdays you can come and have that and like talk to people. So we had that as like our reception, not really reception, we just joined in after we got married and signed the papers and everything. So it was kind of funny. But yeah, we had porridge instead of wedding cake. And then we had our actual family celebration May 9th, so we could plan it a little bit more, but it was only my side of the family because we were still in the States. So they came down to Florida. Most of my family is still up in New England, but they came down, and a couple friends. So nothing big, and we just did our vows at this nice restaurant. It had a little wine cellar downstairs, and we said our vows then, and we did like dancing and had like nice wine because we love wine, and just some nice food, not like a big cake or anything like that. So yeah, it was nice. So we have kind of 2 anniversaries. I always forget every year which one we actually celebrate, but it's, he reminded me, it was May 9th that we actually like give gifts on and celebrate, but we also kind of do something nice on our November 1st one, and it was in 2014, so I think, what is this, our 7th? I need to like do math now in my head. Yeah, our 7th anniversary coming up already, so yeah. So anyway, I got this pattern, I wanted to do something big. I wanted to do something like special. And so I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here. But I just want to like, I don't know, talk about like just some real stuff for a moment. So feel free to skip this part if you just want to see the stitching and haul. But I've been catching up on Flosstube lately, and Jemima from the Rocking Stitcher was like, you know, she talked about, you know, some deeper stuff and got into just some things she's been struggling with lately, and wanted to share that and put it out there, and just to like let people know, you know, we all go through this stuff, and you're not alone if you're struggling with certain things. And so I really appreciated that. And then I was watching Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, who was also just talking about like, you know, being our authentic self, and, you know, being ourselves, even here on Flosstube, especially here on Flosstube, where we like to share what we actually like to do. And I really appreciated that from both of them, just like you know, being vulnerable and letting people know it's okay to just be ourselves and come with whatever is going on in our lives. But this one I just wanted to share has a special meaning in our marriage, because like you can see it's like, you know, they're walking this path towards, you know, a dream future. I know, you know, we can also interpret it as they died and they're going to heaven, but we choose to interpret it as they're walking together towards this like nice dream imaginative future. But it's also kind of like dark in the actual like background. So you can see this tree, nice big tree, but it's kind of like dead. It's kind of like decaying and like just dark looking, not very alive looking. And then you have like the rough waters, and there's not really like a beach. It's just kind of like the rocky shores and the cliff. And you know, marriage is something that's pretty hard, and any long-term relationships, you know, are they can be rocky and they can be hard, really hard at times. And we've definitely had our hard times and struggles. And, you know, to be honest, there have been times that we didn't think that we would make it. So, you know, I won't go into the details of everything, but we're both committed and want to work on the relationship and ourselves. You know, I'm a big believer that that you not only work on your relationship, but each person has to like work on themselves in a relationship if you want to grow together. And so we've both definitely been doing that. Yeah, we've both been to our own therapy. We've both been to couples therapy. And, you know, I think our deepest relationships, our closest relationships are also like our biggest opportunities for growth. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Like if you're struggling, it's totally normal. And yeah, kind of just knowing that I think is helpful. I know we know this, but then also no one really seems to talk about it at the same time. So I just wanted to talk about it and mention that there's no shame in that. And yeah, whether you keep going with it or have to end it, like either way, it's totally fine. And as long as you're kind of like true to yourself and working with yourself, on yourself, and together, I think is the most important thing. But I also wanted to, you know, I actually showed this pattern to my husband before I got it, like saying, oh, is this something you would like? Like, should I stitch this for us? And he's like, yeah. And he actually, even though he's not into stitching, he like really like looked at it and was like, yeah, I really like it because, you know, it's not just all like sunshine and happiness. Like there's that, but there's also like, you know, it shows that the waters can be rough and there can be some dark times, but you can also get through it together. And I was like, wow, that's like way deeper than I looked into this. But now it definitely has that meaning. And they're walking together towards like this nice dream house in the background, which we also hope to have someday. We're looking for our dream house. And it also has like a picture, the people walking together, they're holding hands, so that would be us. And then there's also like a dog they're walking, that's walking with them. And even though we don't have dogs, we're not dog people, we did have a cat who is very much like a dog named Luca. And I'm not going to get too much into that now because I'll probably start crying, but we lost Luca in the past, now it's been a year and a half. But he was like my baby, and he's with us in this picture. I'm going to say that's Luca, not a dog. So yeah, I'm going to start this hopefully on our anniversary, November 1st, or at least around that date. And I really can't wait. I can't wait to work on it. I'm like holding myself back from working on it, but I do want it to make like a special start date. As for when I'll finish it, yeah, I'm not gonna like make a set date or goal that I have to reach because it's like 310,000 stitches. And there's so many other things that I want to work on. So I don't know. I'll make it for some anniversary. Whatever year I finish it, it's going to be for that anniversary. And I have a lot to choose from, either November or May. So yeah, we'll play it by ear. Okay, that's enough about that. Now we'll get into more fun stuff with haul. So I told you about Pattern Keeper and the hoops that I got. And the hoops also came, sorry, this is super crinkly, with these two mini hoops, which are like a little smaller than I thought they were going to be. But it came with two big and then two small. So I kind of wish they were like not exactly the same size and like a little bigger, but that's okay. I do have like a small one, which is part of my haul that I could use it on maybe. It's smaller than I thought. I showed a preview of this in one of my, maybe my last video, but it's a kit by Mill Hill. Something Amy Lee Weeks is also on it. Maybe that's the designer. But look at it. It's a kitty on a bike and a little, is it a bird or mouse? A mouse on his head. And it just, I don't know if you can read it, but it says, "Do what makes your heart smile," which made me smile. And there was a sale, so I got it. And I don't even know, it doesn't even look like there's cross stitch in it. It just looks like a lot of back stitching. I don't know, maybe there is a couple. And it's my first ever Mill Hill kit, and there's lots of beads. And here's the floss, and it's teeny. How big is it actually? 5.25 by 7 inches. So yeah, nice little cute one. All right, then, okay, this one I'm so excited about. I've been wanting this for like since I've seen it. And even though I'm probably not going to start it anytime soon, I just wanted to have it, you know, in case it goes out of print or gets hard to find or anything like that. And it's a Dimensions kit, the gold, my first gold collection actually, and it is Ball Fairy. I love this one, oh, so much. Love the colors. I love fall anyway, so yeah, I'm like so excited about this one. And I've seen it stitched, even I think Heaven and Earth Designs even has charted it. And I've seen it, someone stitching on it in that, and it looks amazing. It looks so good. So this will be a little different, but still, like, it's gonna look awesome. And this has beads too. Look at all these beads I'm getting into, and I've never done it before. But yeah, all the nice colors on the gray. I like how it's a gray background. Don't you just love that in the fall sometimes when it's like kind of a gray blue, dark gray blue sky, but then all the colors like of fall just pop on it. Oh, it's so nice. And it's like that. I love it. Yeah, so then as I was ordering and knew my family was going to come with kits, I saw this one that was like not bad price at all, and it reminded me of my daughter or my daughter someday. And it is a Gold Collections Petite Dimensions kit called A Kiss for a Snowman. And it's so cute. I'm like, oh, I just picture my daughter building a snowman one day like that. So that just makes me happy. And it's pretty small. This one is 6 by 6 inches, so petite. And there's the floss. And this one is on 18 count white Aida. So, oh. Okay, and then my last kit that I have. This one I was supposed to get a long time ago, actually. When I placed an order on 123 Stitch, like a long time ago before I started even Flosstube. And, well, it was probably summer sometime, not super long ago. But anyway, I placed the kit, an order for 2 kits because they were having a sale on any kits with wolves, and I showed one in my first video, I believe, that I got, it came, but the other one was out of, not in stock, out of stock. So I didn't get that one, and then when they did get it in stock, it was going to be expensive because I realized once I got the first one, I also not only had to pay shipping to Norway, I also had to pay the tax coming in, and it was really expensive. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just hold off on this one. So I didn't get it when it was back in stock, but then once I discovered Cross Stitch Corner, I was placing an order with them, and they had it as well for a decent price. I think it was almost the same as the sale price was in 123 Stitch. So shipping I still had to pay, but it wasn't as bad. And I think I did still have to pay the import tax on this one because it was over a certain amount of money. But it's okay, it's here now, I've got it. I was supposed to get it a long time ago. And it is called Under Forest Cover. I just love the colors in this one. Her hair has the moon in it. I love the moon. And I think it's so sweet. Being protected by her wolf in the wild. So again, I don't know when I'll start this, but I got it. I got it now in my stash for Sunday, which is growing really quickly. I've already outgrown my little like storage space for cross stitch, so I've got to reorganize that today. Oh, my coffee's getting cold. What else? What else? Okay, that was all my stash. Now just plans, and that's it. Okay, so I told you I'm going to start HAED on November 1st, and the rest of October I'm going to be doing every other day of Halloween Quaker, and then the Poppies until I finish it, and then after that, going forward, okay, I think my plan is to only work on one gift at a time. I've had like mostly gifts this whole time, until now I'm starting to finish them up. And now I just want to work on one gift at a time, and the other whips are what I love and for me. So I do still have I have the one from my mother-in-law that I'm working on now, so that'll be the only one until that one's done. Then I do have one for my friend in the US, and I have one for my mom's husband, but I don't know which one I'll start first, but that'll be later once I finish the one for my mother-in-law. Now, in terms of other whips, I'm undecided. I'm undecided because I have lots of things that I want to do and start actually. And my birthday is coming up in November. So a ton of stuff I want to get for that. And I want to start one on my birthday, but I also don't want to have like a ton of whips at once because for a couple reasons. Well, mainly because of, well, two. Storage is one, where I can store them all, and then also all the like things you need to buy to go with a whip. Like bags, like you can see I don't really use project bags and I don't want to spend money on them. I just kind of use what I have. And also the floss organizers. I have, I want to say 3 or it could be 5, I don't know. Those Paco floss organizers, they're really nice. I like those a lot, but they're being used for a lot of my whips right now. And then once I actually haven't got all the threads yet for Children on the Beach, but once I do, it's going to be 2 of those I'm going to need. And then there's another full coverage that I really want to start. It's a San Francisco one that I showed in my first video, and that one's also going to need like a couple of those thread organizers, but I don't want to keep buying them. They're pretty expensive and again, space. And I'd rather spend my money on like actual like stitching stuff, like things I want to stitch. So then I'm like, do I have to like finish one on the thread that's using the thread organizers in order to start another one? Maybe. But then I guess I'm just going to be kitting up and like getting a bunch of patterns that I'll eventually stitch once I like free up a thread organizer. I don't know. So I'm going to go through and see how many I actually have and how many I can do. And you know, the kits I think come with their own floss organization. Well, they kind of do. They're not the best though. Like I wouldn't keep it like this. You know, they come on these organizers, but they're really hard. You have to cut them off. So I don't think I'm going to keep them on there. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, so I probably have to like put these on a floss organizer. What about RTO? That's RTO, by the way, is what this kit is from. RTO is the designer. Oh, they actually do have their own storage. I could keep it on that. Kind of flimsy, it's on paper, but at least I could like just take the thread right off of that, I think. So I might be able to start like the ones that have it like already organized like that. But maybe that's a good plan anyway, so that I'm finishing things too and not just starting a million new things, because even though I want to do that and I like that, I do like to see progress. I like to be able to like put good work on it. So that might be my plan. I have to like kind of see what I've got after, like I'll finish another one soon. But I'll see what I've got and what I want to keep on those floss organizers and what not. And I don't know. I'll have to decide all that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I still want to get for my birthday. I just might not be able to start them for a while, but that's all right. Got lots of time, right? Okay, so I think this has been my longest video by far, so I will leave it at that. Yeah, so I appreciate your comments. I appreciate liking, subscribing, all those things. And yeah, I will see you guys, well, when will I see you guys? Hopefully in a couple weeks, but you never know with a little toddler, you never know. So I'll see you as soon as I can, and hopefully have more to show you guys. All right, if I don't, I should see you before Halloween, but if not, happy Halloween, and get lots of stitching in. Talk to you soon. Bye.